App prototyping can be a great way to share your idea in a different format. Let's have a look at an app prototype I've created in Keynote on the iPad. I've created the basic slides. You can see that my slides are slightly different sizes. Well, I went to my three dots, I tapped Document Setup, selected Slide Size, and I chose this one that's 3 by 4. That makes it look a bit more like an iPad screen that's up and down. Quite good for an app prototype. You can see I've got the slides that I've filled with content, but I need to set the navigation. Let's have a look at how I can do that. I've got this Mission Start button that when I tap it and select Link, I have the option of what I want to link to. I can link to a website, a slide, an email, but for this one I'm going to link it to slide number 2. That's the second slide. I'm not going to link it to the next slide. It means if I need to rearrange the slides, it will always link to the same place. Little tip for you to take away there. Let's tap back, and I could do it with this one. I'm going to make the earth almost like my home button, going home. So let's tap on it, tap link, and I'm always going to link that one to the first slide. It's going to take me home. So what's quite good here is I can just duplicate it. I can tap copy, go into slide 2, tap on the slide, tap paste, and it pastes in the exact same place. So that it will be consistent whenever I look through my slides. Let's do the same here. Let's maybe get a Mars fact file. So I'm going to bring up my dock and go to Safari. You can do this just by clicking your home button and going to Safari. I have a website. I have the NASA website. Top tip, if you are using things about space, everything on the NASA website is free to use. So this website's great. It's got a lot of additional info on Mars that I might want to link to, whether I'm showing this to pupils or whether I'm a pupil showing this to another pupil or working with my peers, whatever I'm doing. But I'm going to copy this website. I'm going to bring up my dock, and I'm going to go back to Keynote. Again, you can click your home button, go back to Keynote. But down on this Explore button, I'm going to tap link, and instead of linking to a slide, I'm going to link to a web page. Where it says link, I'm going to tap paste, and there's my website. I can just tap away, and that box, that button, that Explore button will now link externally to that Mars website. If I go back to Safari again, just tap away here, just tap anywhere, we'll take away this URL box. Nice rotation of Mars, that's good to have included in my app. I'm quite happy with how this is shaping up. But let's talk about the Perseverance rover. That's something that's quite important about exploring Mars. So let's tap on the URL, tap copy, bring up my dock again. That's just by swiping up from the bottom. I can move across, that's another way to do it. Yeah, I'm just going to click and go back. Right, so there's Perseverance, and this time I want the image of the rover to link to that website. So let's tap on where it says link to, choose web page, tap where it says link, tap again, tap paste. It's all taps. It's all thinking about how it's brainstorming, it's planning, it's thinking about what the flow is going to be like. What's this going to be like for users? Need to remember to get my home button. So if I tap on the earth, tap copy, tap on my slide, tap paste, that copies in the exact same place, copies in the exact same position. Let's test it. Let's press play. Let's tap explore, or mission start, sorry. Okay, that's working. Go back to slide 1, that's working. Mission. How do I get to my Perseverance page? So in this testing, I can actually see that I've got a bug. So I'm going to have to go back and edit. I can't link to slide 3, can I? I can't link to the third page of my app. So I'm maybe going to have to change the way my app is laid out, or what I'm using to lay it out. So let's make this image of Mars a bit smaller and move it up. Let's move the mission start button up, and I'm just going to duplicate this. I'm going to copy and paste, and I'm going to rename these buttons. So the first one I'm just going to could call it Mars. No, I'm going to call it the red planet. I'm going to make it match up with the name of that page. I'm going to change mission start to the word perseverance. Good word for you to get practice in spelling. Now I have to change the link here, don't I? Because that button's going to link to slide 2 and I need it to link to slide 3. So let's change that. Tab 3. Right, let's test it again. So let's press play. Okay, looking good so far. Tapping red planet takes me to the red planet page. Tapping Earth takes me back to page 1. Tapping Perseverance, there we go, takes me to that Perseverance rover page. Tapping the Perseverance itself takes me to the website. Back to Keynote, my app loads. Tapping the Earth. Okay, so I've got a pretty straightforward working app prototype. But right now it's still almost like a presentation. So we can actually change this in Keynote. Let's tap my 3 dots and you can see I've got a list of options here. So just underneath document setup, which we use to change the size of the slide, we're going to go to settings. And there's an option called presentation type. Now this is a top tip when using Keynote. If you change this to links only, this will only navigate using the links. You won't be able to tap to go to the next slide. It won't work like another presentation. So that's another way that you can make this a bit more realistic when sharing it with other users. Try it yourself, share your creations on Twitter, and we'll see you next time.